Hello everybody, welcome back to Off Centre. Today we're going to be unpacking a few of the big new asylum reforms that have been proposed by the Home Secretary, Shabana Mahmood. We'll be looking at, will they actually go through? What will the Labour base think of this? More importantly, what will the actual country think of this? Will the voting populace be on board with this? Or is this just another scheme to grab votes from the Labour Party, given that they're doing quite so poorly in the polls? So, to start with, we should just say exactly what these reforms are going to be. So, in essence, we are trying to mimic the Danish policy. The Danes, they do this really well. So, what Denmark planned out, what they laid out, is a system to ensure that as few migrants as possible apply for asylum in Denmark, and as many as possible have their applications rejected and are then deported. That is, in essence, what the Danes have laid out. And they do it through a combination of making it very difficult to claim asylum. You cannot claim asylum permanently. What we're trying to do in this country is exactly what they are doing, to an extent. And that means that we are going to try and ensure that the moment an asylum seeker's home country is safe, they are returned. We're going to try and make sure that if they have assets, they pay their own way for some of their accommodation. We're going to be deporting at a much greater speed asylum seekers who cannot claim asylum, as in they do not have a right to be in Great Britain. And all of this does sound quite good, but most people agree it's probably not enough. So the Danish policy works to an extent because Denmark are trying to turn as many illegal migrants and asylum seekers away as is physically possible. Will we be able to do the same thing? I don't think so. And that's because the pull factor to Great Britain is still pretty enormous if I'm an illegal migrant crossing over from France on the Channel to Great Britain. Because we are still doing hotels, even if those hotels, those 3- and 4-star hotels, then become army barracks, you're still getting housing that is very good. You are still going to be getting some form of payment. Some places will even offer you phones. You are still going to get those sorts of benefits. You're still going to be given free stuff. And all of the free stuff has got to go. Now, it's a step in the right direction to say that asylum seekers should have to pay their own way. You cannot have a free room in a hotel off the taxpayer's back. That's just not fair. We have thousands of homeless people in Great Britain. Are any of those people given immediate free accommodation from the government? No, they're not. Then why are we giving loads of hotel rooms to random foreign men who entered the country illegally? There really is no reason to do that. There is no point to it, simply put. But I don't think it's an entirely honest policy. I think that you've got to bear in mind who's laying this out. Shabana Mahmood and the Labour Party were, just a mere 18 months ago, going along the lines of refugees are welcome here. We want loads and loads more migrants. We want greater immigration. We want a big multicultural, diverse Britain. That was their strategy. That was their main line of attack. That was what they were hitting the Tories hard on less than half a decade ago. In fact, I would say as soon as 2 years ago, they were big on refugees are welcome here. We want more immigration, more asylum seekers. And now look where we are. And this isn't because the Labour Party have suddenly had a massive change of heart in regards to asylum. Far from it. It's because the public have changed. It's because the Overton window, which is the window that dictates which ideologies are acceptable and which are not, has shifted dramatically to the right. Could you imagine a Labour Home Secretary coming out and announcing a Danish-style reform to our asylum system? Could you have even imagined that? Could you have even conceived of that 18 months ago? I certainly couldn't have. And I doubt anyone would have thought about that. And that's because the right has done such a good job hitting the left on the issue of migration. We have forced, people on the right have forced the Labour Party to change the entire scope of their policy programme. And that is a good thing. It's good that we now have a strong, dominant, forceful right-wing coalition, no matter how fractured it may be to an extent in this country, forcing the Labour Party, which was initially considered a relatively far-left organisation. In fact, just 10 years ago, people were talking about socialism in the Labour Party. Look at how the Labour Party has shifted from Jeremy Corbyn to Shabana Mahmood announcing this new asylum reform in less than a decade. It's astonishing when you think about it. And it's testament to just how well the right wing has done at shaping the narrative and changing the face of Britain. That's what they've done. That's in essence what's happened here. And it is very impressive. It is remarkable, without a doubt. But the final thing that I think we need to really look at is this what the public want? Is this enough to satisfy the public in regards to the asylum system? No, it is not. Certainly not. The public are moving much faster than the Labour Party. The Labour Party are trying to catch up to the public mood. The public's mood is, generally speaking, less legal immigration as well. Much less legal immigration. For everything from YouGov polls to Find Out Now, you've got all sorts of different polling systems that are tracking the trends of the public mood. And almost every single one of them is showing a rising sentiment that is against the growing tide of legal migration. And if the Labour Party really want to start winning more votes, if they really want to get the public back on board, if they really want to show themselves as the party that cares, they're going to have to start dealing with legal migration too. Do you think that these reforms go far enough? Or, if you are a Labour Party member, do you think that these reforms are going far too far? Would you rather see better care and better accommodation and more protection for asylum seekers? Or would you rather that we stick with this new asylum reform, or even go a little bit further? Does this make you any more likely to vote for the Labour Party? Or, if you're already a Labour voter, are you someone who's considering leaving because you think that these reforms are going far too far? Tell us in the comments. See you for a next episode soon.